And what is up, all you lovely lads and ladies? Welcome back to the weekly Esports Rewind podcast. Been a spicy week, been a great week. As per usual, we start off by reading your comments. Thank you for leaving them. Do you have yours, Hunt?
Absolutely.
I have mine from Mr. Toby Cortez. Sick one-on-one chat. Great content. I like you guys. Keep it impartial. That speaks very well of your background as communicators. Big ups, GG. That was like 14 compliments in one message. Thank you so much to Toby. What's yours?
Nicholas says, LMAO, comment on Nick's chat. Jake Sucky creaming himself with this content. Which I can validate. His pants are clean.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you all enjoy the great stories. Thanks, Nicholas. And probably one of our bigger stories this past week was actually a Warzone hacker yet again caught. That's not surprising to anyone, but this time a Warzone hacker who was actually exposed live on stream with previous winnings in the event. It was actually a Twitch Rivals event months prior. He was then exposed by a variety of players out there and a lot of pros giving comment as well, as he let some community members have access to his PC. Ballsy, might I add, via TeamViewer, to which they later uncover emails between him and a few cheat providers, at least one, where they go back and forth about asking for cheats. Also a connected account on cheat forums asking for cheats as well, to which shortly after that stream, or even during it, it was Twitch who stepped in and finally banned him, to what he later claimed was apparently someone on his stream saying the N-word, but the entire Warzone and COD community coming out and saying, all right, you've been exposed. And it's just kind of crazy to know that this guy's actually won over $10,000 and is now being exposed.
Dude, people these days are ballsy. That's about all.
They make more money than we do.
Right. And they are bold enough, which sounds like a good thing, but is a bad thing. But they have enough balls to cheat in for money. I got nervous when I would help someone else cheat, or look on my if I looked on someone else's homework, I would get nervous in school. And so the fact that people are
for money,
doing this for money in tournaments on computers, letting someone look at your computer is how are you this? You're either extremely stupid or, like I said, extremely ballsy.
Big cahoons. But yes, he has been exposed. We'll see if there's any updates on that. It's crazy to know that, Isaac and Huskers and Blast, all these pros had suspicions, and now finally that it's out there. It's crazy to know. It's always hard to argue for someone when in the defense you can see that they have been asking for cheats. What are we supposed to do? Assume you asked around for cheats and then you kind of just gave up on that? You know what? I want to go clean. It's tough to believe. I know for a fact there's viewers out there who in middle school or grade school, you had a crush on somebody, and either they let you look on theirs or you let them look on yours. You
only cheated whenever you had a crush. You didn't help your boys or anything like that.
Who said I didn't have a crush on my boys?
Oh, that's true. Everyone can have crushes on their boys.
The boys passed every test we took.
That's facts. But yeah.
But either way, a gigantic hacker, $10,000+ in winnings from Twitch Rivals. We'll see what Twitch does. Did they come back in and be like, can we have that back, or we're gonna sue you off your arse?
I did see someone who competed with him. This was Good Feels. Competed with him and won money previously. Was going to host their own Warzone tournament to give away the money they won with him, because they're like, hey, I don't want this. I consider this dirty money because he was cheating apparently, and I didn't know about it then. But I'm going to host a Warzone tournament and give away those winnings again because I don't want it.
I should have probably known that. So we'll look into that further. Props to him. But yes, another Warzone hacker taken down, and nobody is surprised.
We have something that we don't hear a whole lot about, which is content creators doing illegal things. This is a little bit of a stretch for this one, so bear with me for a second. The story starts in India with a content creator, Paris official, who said some racist remarks against a political figure in a country, or a state in India, not a country in India that doesn't exist.
This is going to get good. Us two brainiacs.
Just big brain plays over here. So he says racist comments, gets arrested for it, goes to jail, and so that's where it starts. And I'm stretching this over to something that I read this morning, someone's Twitter thread about xQc. And how they view xQc's gambling streams as illegal because he's doing it in Texas where slots is illegal, and he's, broadcasting this to, we've heard this argument a bunch, to all these kids and winning thousands of dollars, and we don't know where the money's coming from, and we know it's an ad. But because it's based in Texas, this guy's argument is that, hey, that's illegal in Texas where you are doing slots.
And this is something that we have not talked about for a solo video on the channel yet. It was a pretty extensive thread being posted as we're recording on Twitter. I think it was actually like 12 or so tweets back to back with some evidence and some claims that xQc, potentially what he's doing, is illegal. Of course, this could be stretched even back further. Your India and PUBG story was crazy as it is. There were a lot of varying opinions on that story. I think it's shocking enough to know that, yes, obviously making racist remarks and offensive slurs like that is so wrong.
Right.
But it is crazy to know that in different countries that people can go to jail for making those remarks, because we know very well, we know a lot of scummy people that say those things and they just get a slap on the wrist.
Right. There's a lot of Fortnite pros that would be going to jail right now
they would
if
be
they
behind
had the
bars.
same sort of like, if content creators were held to that same degree. And that was like one of the biggest arguments in one of the documents that I saw was like this video that Paris official put out was seen by thousands of people. And because of that, like that was part of the reason for the arrest, is like he's putting out these racist comments to thousands and thousands to see, which is the same thing a lot of Fortnite creators do. And so definitely an interesting like difference between where they are in the world and how that kind of stuff is handled.
Yeah, and back to this xQc thing, it's something I would like probably someone like Devin Nash to break down when it comes time for the legality of it all. I'm sure he would have some great comments and might be actually working on something around that, because with Twitch gambling, it's been extreme, right? Train and xQc probably leading the way on these slots, and it's been obviously a resurgence back from the CSGO days, which I'm sure a lot of people are very well aware of. And, CSGO back in the day, tons of skin gambling and betting, and that led to at least 2 separate scandals that we know about: Phantom Lord, CSGO Shuffle, and then other CSGO scandals tied to some big figures like T. Martin and Syndicate as well. Like, we all know about those way back in the day. There were several huge figures tied to those cases, which at the end of the day, apparently after investigation, have not led to anything. But I think a lot of people out there would hate for that kind of thing to resurface and possibly not necessarily incriminate, but get higher figures like xQc in trouble.
I mean, it's testy. I know it is. I know a lot of people have really strong opinions on the gambling meta and everything that's happening with that meta. I say just because 2 of the biggest streamers are doing it, and a lot of people have spoken on the topic. But to see in that thread where they're talking about the younger audiences watching, like, I know I'm not like everyone else, but like if I'm watching and I was a high schooler or middle schooler, like I would be affected by it. Like, heck, I loved once RuneScape came out with their like system for like, I forget what it was called.
Flower betting, bro.
Yeah, like
plant those seeds.
Any sort of like betting, that was old school. But new school had Solomon's General Store or whatever, where you could like buy chests.
They always had these workarounds. Yeah, of course.
And
there's
like,
the arena as well. So
exactly. And so like I personally would have definitely been affected by this. And like if I saw this. And I know my brother-in-law right now is a high schooler, brand new high schooler. He for sure, if he sees a streamer that he likes doing that, he'd go to that website and figure out how to throw money on there.
See, I gambled back in the day with CSGO. I was high school going into college, and yeah, I definitely had an issue with it. Like, it really hooked me in. So my opinion's kind of null on this. I do think it's a very, very hairy road, but you're throwing probably a lot of money at these creators who also it's still, besides the CSGO stuff in the past, it's a relatively new area of how does Twitch enforce rules around their top streamer gambling in front of hundreds of thousands of people and potentially being paid, maybe not correctly advertising it as a hashtag ad. It's obviously very early on in this, but people have a lot of opinions when it comes time for gambling in front of such huge audiences, especially when a lot of them are very, very young. So we'll see what comes down from that. As of right now, it's just a simple Twitter thread kind of piquing interest about what xQc is doing. So what do you guys think? And next up out there, kind of a sad story to see. It's actually Summit1g taken to Twitter as well as to stream, apparently being involved in a recent swatting instance, to what he later said that he is possibly the most swatted streamer on Twitch, to not really tell anyone about it, which he has now finally spoken up about. In case you guys did miss it, it's kind of just sad to see. This is a guy who just moved, I believe, his dad into a new house relatively recently, and then now will be moving his dad right out of that house because of a recent swatting instance. I imagine someone just got the wrong address, but he later takes to the stream to talk about obviously this being a pretty weird issue that he probably never thought of when he first got into streaming, and just being a bunch of what he calls small wiener motherfrickers trying to get a rise out of putting other people's lives at risk.
For so long, I can't even tell you guys for how long. It's like, I have been swatted, right? And I'll just never tell you. It'll happen on stream. I'll walk away for 5 minutes, come back, nothing, right? Just move on with our day. And it's like so stupid. I think it keeps happening because people think like it doesn't happen. Like, oh, I've never seen Summit get swatted. I'll do that, dude. I'll do that, dude. I'll do that, dude. And everybody else, every small wiener has the same stupid idea. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, hey, yeah, dude, what sounds like a great idea? Endangering people's lives, dude, that I don't have any idea of. Oh, but my family's here safe and sound, dude. Who gives a about other people's families? You know what I mean?
Swatting sucks. For people who don't know what that is, it's pretty much someone will call the police and be like, hey, this person at this address has killed everyone on the vicinity and said they're going to kill themselves if anyone comes near or something along those lines.
Anything threatening that will cause the police to show up.
Right, and so police show up and almost the idea is that they would show up in a very cautious, aggravated manner, maybe of like very like on their toes. And so that puts people at risk, obviously, because the police think that someone violent is inside when they're not really. And so it sucks to see, like, I don't know how that goes through someone's head of like, this is going to be awesome. Like, this is going to be so good to like mess with this person like this, or such a good joke. And it's like, no, it's not a joke and it's not funny by any means. And it sucks to see, like, the idea of having to move your family members because of it is rough.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just like a extremely young audience that thinks that police officers have never accidentally shot somebody, and that police officers are always just there to save the day, and that when it comes time for swatting, they'll just simply knock on the door. And I mean, that's just not, you don't know. I mean, every authority is different, especially given, and I don't even think that's the case, because a lot of these times when they call these SWATs in, they're saying that the streamer is doing some insane stuff. Right. So I'm sure that's probably not the case. But, you know, I think it's gone to a thing where stream sniping, yeah, it can be funny to get a reaction out of ordering. If your favorite streamer gets doxxed, you order them a pizza, you get that reaction, and that can be funny, I guess. But then there's just a new length of it has to be, at least in my opinion, you have to be messed up in some way to swat somebody.
And it's just so scary in general, knowing that people, as a content creator, knowing that the public has your address and like has access to that in any capacity. We've seen so many stories of people showing up in people's homes or places of work and things like that, and it's pretty, like, it doesn't seem that bad until, like, if you think about it, like, it
doesn't
gets
seem
weird.
that bad until it's bad.
Right.
Like, if you have fans showing up, oh, you know, that's a bit too far. It's a bit of a privacy concern, but it's not swatting. It's not they're knocking on your door. They're coming into your house during a live stream, which you've covered before. We just this last week, Clicks from the Fortnite scene, he was like, oh my gosh, someone drove 3 hours to my house to check in on me. And his first tweet was like, that was the nicest thing anyone's ever done. And he quickly follows it up by saying, but, you know, don't come to my house. It's not a reason to, like, that's kind of, don't do that. It was the nicest thing ever. It's kind of a one-off, right? Like, thanks for checking in on me. But driving 3 hours, knowing where he lives, that to me is just, it's gotten to such an extreme. And of course, Summit now having to deal with this for his friends and family a number of times that he's never even spoken about. Yeah, it's just kind of sad to know that people are like that are out there. And it's, unless that Twitch has resolved, unless there is some sort of resolution, which is incredible if you can actually think of one, it's going to be an unfortunate circumstance that we continue to deal with, especially as these online figures, I know, continue to grow into the future. So we'll see what happens. But of course, hopes and prayers are with Summit1g, of course, when he comes to moving his family after another unfortunate swatting.
So as we know, Valorant has had their first ever LAN has been going on as a recording. What, do you didn't know about that? Esports Talk? Not surprised, to be honest. So I don't know. But yes, it has started. And what I wanted to talk about was kind of a mix of things, but overall just our feelings on how we feel about this first ever LAN for Valorant. So some things to prod you with could be like entertainment value of things. So maybe trash talk that's going on, like Scream, or some of the big entertainers on stage, like Boaster or Tins even, or just how you feel about it in general.
Tremendous. I think it's been amazing so far. The production value, of course, Valorant has already been rising, turning that tide when it comes time for the argument of CSGO versus Valorant, which some people think should be had. Some should think it shouldn't be an argument at all because rising tide raises all ships. I think it's been great to see. I think with the ability for players to come out on stage and do their little banter after matches, we've seen webcams during the matches of them kind of yelling back and forth, the player intros, and of course when the matches are done, we've seen a series of trash talk or banter, might you add, and personalities. People really, really taking advantage of you are in the limelight right now. Right. It's the first ever Valorant LAN, and viewership-wise with co-streams, I really can't complain. I mean, yes, you can also debate co-stream as being beneficial for Riot, or does it kind of is it kind of misleading? But for me personally, I really enjoy having a variety of people to watch the event with. And with that being said, with the ability of co-streaming, viewership has been absolutely nuts, which again just paints all the more limelight for these players to grab the attention they want.
Especially when you see these players coming on stage and doing their, their handshakes or their celebrations or they're messing with each other, which is great to see. By the way, I'll say that first. It's so cool to see these players still like trash talking, but also still getting along. Like, it feels like healthy trash talk.
Oh, I want more. Yeah.
I do want it. I wanted to get a little more tense just because it makes good matches. But I also I feel like everyone at the end of the day can laugh about it, which I appreciate.
For now.
Right, for now. Who knows? It's the
Who's
first
gonna push
LAN,
it too
so
far?
I don't know. Someone's going to say something. But I completely lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that? Trash talking. Oh,
personalities,
co-streams.
yeah.
So seeing people co-stream is really cool because then you'll see them, like Shroud, commenting on those players.
And then Shroud's got like 4 Cloud9 boys in the background of voice comms too. Like, it's like you're listening to old Cloud9 CSGO commentate Valorant.
Right.
Which is trippy.
But great. Like,
yeah, I
it's
love
so
it.
cool to see it like come back into the scene and see those people that are like, I think inherent isn't the right word, but like came up with Valorant a little bit. Like, there's some people who love Plat Chat and like love like listening to them talk about stuff. People who they like really respect as creators that are going to co-stream. Like, everyone expects Plat Chat to be able to co-stream because of their content. But then other creators who are just large in name is also good because it brings it to that casual audience. So that's been really cool. Love seeing the different players show their personalities, and also love seeing a little bit of NA supremacy for once.
I will say, yeah, probably I think the best personality we've seen so far is by far Boaster. The way he absorbs the camera, and then the best banter I've seen was Team Nut. I like to call him Nut. New Turn. New Turn versus V1 when they came out after the match and they cut off the kitty ears for Vanity. That was probably some of the best trash talk I've seen in a long time.
And I saw Vanity reply on Twitter and be like,
"This is the funniest thing
yeah.
ever." Yeah, it's amazing. Like, that's kind of stuff he enjoys as well. So, and it does build a great storyline for these matchups. I would say Valorant Iceland, as besides the tech pauses, has been just about as good as you probably could have imagined.
Agreed.
So we will see how it continues. Speak of the devil when it comes to trash talk that by some eyes is probably a bit further than Valorant. Good old Call of Duty returned to LAN over the past week or so. At the point of this coming out, it was actually an $8,000 event down in Sugar Land, Texas, which drew some tremendous clips. Now, I've been notified about the background of maybe a player or two that made the comments. I'm going to just drop that. We didn't know that at the time, so let's just take that context away from that. None of that was said in the clip that we are talking about, or the clips. There was nothing. I would say there was nothing racially tied or nothing very, very bad. It was just some heavy, heavy trash talk in these clips. In case you guys missed it, got a solo video out there. I'm sure you've seen a lot of clips on Twitter as well. To which I'm like, wow. The dedication of some boys out there competing for a $6,000 first place prize, $1,500 for second.
Dog retire! Snake retire! Let's go! 3-0! 3-0! Watch it, the monitors! Watch it, the monitors! Ball out! Can't yell at you! You'll see that you suck!
You gotta at least admire the intensity these guys have.
Well, when you hear that there's a Call of Duty LAN event going on in Sugar Land, Texas,
You better believe it.
And I think you can expect these sort of things to happen. I think you can expect some words to be flying, some boots to be taken off, or who knows what's happening down there.
I'm the best on LAN. Don't forget it.
Well, yeah,
That was one of the lines there.
A little country. I'm the best on LAN. Don't you forget it.
Yeah.
So I think you can expect that, but it was like, it's what I at least envision when people are talking about Gears of War trash talk, of like people over desks and like, I mean, this man slammed a computer on the ground. So
on accident.
Right.
When you are running to trash talk the enemy and you knock over a monitor that's probably worth more than the prize money you just won, you know you're dedicated.
Right,
You got to
exactly.
respect that. But yes, obviously some things were said that we probably wouldn't say to each other unless we were highly intoxicated. But we obviously are friendly banter. We enjoyed the discussion. We enjoyed the back and forth. It was great to see for $8,000 on the line that kind of intensity, and we kind of hope that crosses over a little bit into some actual real top level pro play. Can you imagine if we had a pro player out there who just would knock over monitors whenever, like, no
who
matter
would it be? I'm trying to think.
I can't really name. I don't know if we should be naming mean pros. I don't want it to be a Gears guy. I want it to be someone we actually have
Krim.
covered.
Let's see Krim just
Krim,
get up and get pissed off.
He eats fines all the time.
Right.
What if Krim just dedicated himself that after every match, because we're going back to LAN for Call of Duty, after every match he knocks over a monitor, no, even if he's not even close to one.
Breaks this keyboard like every single time. $400, so that $1,000. That would be insane and like quite the legacy. But I don't know. I kind of expect that stuff.
6 keyboards throughout Stage 4 Major.
I think it's gonna there's been so much trash talk about returning to LANs. You know, in Call of Duty.
God, I'm
and
sorry.
These people are gonna get just destroyed because we're finally back on LAN, and like so much trash talk involved.
You've just now made me think. Yeah, I forgot. We've been online for CDL throughout the first 3 majors, and so much has been said. Whether it be through webcam or be through Twitter, we're gonna see some great reactions.
Agreed.
CDL Stage 4 Major on LAN for sure. Can't wait to see if it competes with good old Sugarland down in Texas. All right, back for the last story of the podcast there, guys. It's actually going to be around
Ron Weasley today. We're going to have a Ron
It's going to
Weasley.
be around DeFran
Ah.
and the Sinatraa situation, because we can't let that go. If you guys have somehow missed his reactions on the situation, you can just go peek at Twitter, or we have some videos on that as well. I would say it's always going to be a complex thing when you involve someone like the Sinatraa case, because it's still an ongoing investigation, and someone as polarizing as DeFran. He had said some things that I just don't agree with, to be honest with you guys, and you're welcome to your own opinions on that. Around those accusations, ever since the very beginning, he's pretty much nullified them and considered them to be lies, and that Sinatraa was innocent. It was recently when Riot Games actually came out with their side of the investigation and gave Jay a 6-month suspension, where DeFran comes out and says he was right, Sinatra's innocent, to which later on Myth actually responded to that on stream, pretty much calling out how idiotic and delusional DeFran's take was.
It seems I was right, and Sinatraa was not found guilty of sexual assault. We're return to play very soon. Another win for me, boys. I called Ellie. Is this guy f***ing stupid? DeFran, are you delusional? This wasn't a concluded case of him being found as a sexual assaulter or not, you f***ing idiot. Hello? It seems like I am right. Sinatraa lied on multiple occasions about the evidence provided and working with Riot closely in the case. I was definitely right.
To which that has now continued this past week to Twitter, where the two went back and forth with only a few tweets about clearly just really not enjoying each other. I think the main diss for DeFran was this dead Fortnite streamer Myth is a lackluster Valorant commentator, and then it was actually Myth responding pretty much with DeFran being up Sinatra's butt.
Yeah.
Some great stuff.
I'll say it's one thing to be loyal to your boys, right? And like to stick by their side and be like, yeah, like I believe in this person. But there's also a certain degree that this feels like he's just trying to agitate people, trying to be like devil's advocate, and just ignoring any sense of like responsibility with the situation, or like delicacy almost, or like grace. I don't even know what the right word is here.
It's very sensitive, and you got to. The main thing for me, and again, we have videos breaking this down. The main thing for me is DeFran seemed upset that people were automatically assuming Sinatraa was guilty, and to me, I'm like, okay, then why do you think it's okay to automatically assume he is innocent?
Yeah.
And especially in the fashion he's doing it, while assuming those accusations are lies and calling the accuser, that being Cleo, a crazy e-girl. It's just so disrespectful, and it's so hypocritical to assume that. And again, I don't agree with people calling him the R word already. Right. I don't agree with people calling him guilty already. There is still ongoing stuff. I don't think it's a good look for him, the way it's pointed out, and I can say that fairly, and I think it's an okay statement to make in the correct manner. But I don't understand his argument of, okay, why are you guys calling him this, but I'm going to call him innocent, completely innocent, when we do not know either side yet.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't talk about
no,
this.
I know. It's okay. It's just it is so sensitive, and like he just takes such a harsh stance against it. Like he just does not. There's no degree of respect for. Like he doesn't read the room. It's pretty much what's going on.
I mean, even Sinatra's current girlfriend isn't coming out and being like, he's innocent.
Right.
We won. Because you haven't yet. It's still ongoing. And I think that's a pretty simple stance to take. And yeah, it's sucky to see a figure that I would say once upon a time, so many people really looked up to for his personality. That personality is really just, I don't know, showing more of true colors, I would say, as of late. That kind of just makes me uncomfortable to read through. So it's Myth versus Defran, though. You guys clearly know my stance on this one. What do you guys think about it, as that is also ongoing? Yeah, as per usual, we hope you guys all enjoy the Esports Rewind podcast. If you guys want to leave a comment or leave a like or subscribe, maybe follow the lads on social media for daily updates and some nice pictures of us both on social media.
Such nice pictures.
Dude, the pictures I took of you.
So high quality. Unreal.
So good.
The poses.
Oh my God. I was like, ooh.
Hit the angle. Hit the angle.
Yeah. And over there is actually the door we're about to walk through. We hope you all enjoy the weekly episode. Thank you for stopping by. Until next time, you take care of yourselves.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.